A new report suggests cutting JobSeeker could cost $31 billion and ruin the livelihoods of thousands of Australians. Joining us live now is Dr. Cassandra Goldie. She's the CEO of the Australian Council of Social Service. Appreciate your time, Cassandra. Talk us through this Deloitte modelling that's been released this week. A lot of people might be scratching their heads and wondering how cutting JobSeeker, which is a welfare payment to the unemployed, could then in turn lead to a further, I think it was 150,000 jobs being lost, as this report suggests. It seems it all comes down to the spending impacts of cutting that payment.
Basic, actually, in the end, of course, everybody's talking about what we need to support jobs out there, how we keep jobs and how we grow more job opportunities. I mean, at the moment, we've got just one job available nationally for every 12 people who are on JobSeeker. And so, as every economist will tell you, if you provide money to people on lower incomes, what we're seeing is that people are spending, and they're spending most of that, of course, because they need to spend on essentials, food, fresh fruit and vegetables, shoes, clothing. Those are the kinds of things going into small businesses. All those dollars are being spent in the real economy. And Deloitte has estimated if the government goes ahead with the proposed cuts to JobSeeker and the coronavirus supplement, over the next 2 years, we've got 145,000 jobs at stake. So there is a lot at stake. The government's speculating about the personal income tax cuts as being sort of, a measure that would be permanent to stimulate jobs. Well, that won't stimulate jobs in the same way at all because, of course, all the data is very clear. People on higher incomes, which is where most of the benefits of the personal income tax cuts will go, people are saving. And so we're saying, of course, people on low incomes, we need to fix the adequacy of JobSeeker. It's really important for people affected by unemployment, but it's as important for us to understand that those dollars are the best dollars the government could spend to support businesses and, of course, people in those jobs. It's a big figure that we're talking about at stake here, 145,000 across the country.
Cassandra Goldie, there have been these reports of business owners arguing that the higher JobSeeker rate means that people haven't wanted to get an actual job, that they're more comfortable receiving welfare than having to go out to work only to earn a bit more pay. Is there any actual hard evidence backing up those anecdotal stories, suggesting that JobSeeker has essentially made some Australians too lazy to work?
Yeah, look, I'm really glad you've asked that question. I want to step this out very clearly. The current rate of JobSeeker with the coronavirus supplement is $550 per week. If you are on the minimum wage, you should be earning a full $750 per week. So there's still a gap of $200 per week for people on JobSeeker less than the minimum wage. And so if employers out there are offering at least the minimum wage, which is what you should be doing, then there is plenty of so-called work incentive to get into employment, because there is a big difference even now between the rate of JobSeeker per week and the rate of the minimum wage. Look, the Deloitte report also addresses this question. It makes it very clear that with the scale of unemployment now, as I say, one job for every 12 people nationally, and if you go into the regional areas, it's almost double the number of people who are now locked out of paid work without jobs for the job that's available. There is no question really about this being a disincentive to work. People are desperate, of course, to get their foot back in the door to be able to secure employment. We're in a very deep recession now, as you know, and we've got to understand that at the moment, the most important thing we can give is people's certainty and at least some peace of mind that whilst we all do everything to create job opportunities, people are going to have enough to be able to feed themselves and their family 3 times a day and keep a roof over their head. The very modest basic essentials is what we need to secure here. And as Deloitte report shows, the benefit also is that those are the dollars that will continue to be spent on the essentials in the local businesses. This is particularly a huge picture in regional Australia. Deloitte was very clear about that. Very important benefits in terms of the real economy continuing to support consumer confidence.